Hello. All right. Week nine's done.
Oh my
That
goodness.
is 50% of the season, not counting preseason or postseason, is in the books. Let's get to our picks from last week. I got a lot to say about a lot of these, so this might be a 2-hour show. Okay. The first one, I don't have a lot to say. I had the Giants at home against the Niners, and the Niners basically controlled the whole game. It was Giants never really had a chance to cover. That was the wrong side. Did the Giants fire their defensive coordinators, do something
I
weird?
didn't hear. No, I didn't hear that. I mean, the biggest change from them has been Scadaboo's injury, right? So, but if they have, I did not hear that.
Um, so I don't know. I saw something like
Yeah.
Dayball's more of the problem, but they're placing the blame on
Yeah.
areas where the blame shouldn't be placed or something like that. But I thought they said something like they fired a coordinator. Doesn't look like they fired a coordinator. So maybe it's just make up whatever you want Wednesday. All right, so let's go to the next one. All right. So the Patriots, they led by 14 points in the first half. They led by 10 points in the third quarter, and they won by 1. So I had them -6. Felt good for a while, but again, 6 can be tough to cover. And that's kind of what happened. The Falcons snuck in the back door, and actually they missed an extra point to tie it, kind of like midway through the fourth quarter. So probably should have been overtime.
What's going on with kicking? I don't want to do a deep dive, but a lot of missed stuff happened in this past weekend, and then a lot of people kicking like 60-yard field goals.
Yeah, I guess. Well, in the Falcons' case, there's a reason why Parker Romo only gets jobs when other people suck or get hurt, right? It's because he's not that
fair
good.
Enough. Yeah.
They got rid of Koo earlier in the year, and then they signed him. And I don't know, everyone's going to miss the extra points here and there with it being 33 yards, but it really shouldn't be that tough unless it's windy or raining or snowing.
So are the Falcons good then, or are they bad?
They are exactly what I thought they were.
Okay. They are who we thought they were.
I don't think they're inconsistent.
Yeah.
I think Penix is inconsistent. Mm-hmm. The defense usually shows up, doesn't always show up. Maybe some of that is coaching. They don't always have a great game plan. As we've seen, they've gotten blown out by some not so great teams, and then they beat the Bills, right?
They did beat the Bills.
But that was kind of when the Bills weren't playing very well before their bye, and now the Bills look like
they do
the best team again. So I don't know. I mean, they're 3-5. It's not
great.
I think they've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I don't know. Penix isn't. I didn't watch any of the game against the Patriots. I mean, I guess they put up 23 against the Patriots defense, who's been solid. So
they've been one of the best teams in the league so far this year, and May has looked amazing at times. So
yeah, I mean, really good. Good for them.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next one we were opposite. So Steelers, Colts.
Oh man.
So the Steelers did pretty much control the whole game. They only ended up winning by 7, so it got close. But I think they were up by 17 at one point, and then the Colts scored a couple touchdowns later, whatever.
Kind of tried to come back there, but couldn't complete it.
So we were opposite there. I got the Steelers, you had Colts, and then the next one we were opposite, and you got the Broncos, and I had the Texans.
Barely.
So Stroud gets a concussion in the second quarter, right? Yeah. So Davis Mills comes in and moves the ball, but they can't score a touchdown. They literally kicked 5 field goals, I think, for their 15 points. Yeah. So I don't know. Call me Mr. Excuse, but if Stroud plays that whole game, the Texans win that game. Yeah. I really think they do. And it just seems like the Broncos, for whatever reason, they don't win big, but they find a way to win basically every game. It's kind of I don't know.
They're always in there. They're always in there at the end to be competitive. And the one game that kind of botched in that scenario was the one they lost to the Colts, and that was kind of one of those fluky games. They appear to be legitimate, right? Like,
yeah, they're
at this point,
we talk about
7-2.
inconsistent. I mean, the Broncos are at least consistent in their end results. Like Nick's has looked really bad in short spurts, but over a full game, it seems like he figures it out.
He can find the things to do to win.
And then when your defense doesn't give up any touchdowns, like they just bend, don't break. Yeah, their defense is really good. I mean, they just have the formula for
winning football.
Right. That said, I mean, if the playoffs started today and they had to play the Bills or the Chiefs, I'm not picking the Broncos to beat either one of those teams in a game that really matters.
No, not until they do it, right?
Right.
Not until they do it, no.
And then at the same time, I mean, like Sean Payton, like, I don't want to say that. I don't think Nick's would be nervous and like play really bad because he's nervous or anything like that. I think, like long term, they have what it's going to take. But like you said, until they do it, I don't know. All right, so I had a little sour taste in my mouth about that one. I felt like injuries can just completely,
change the tenor of the game.
But, all right. So then the next one, so I had the Bengals, which it was back and forth early, and then the Bears built a 2-score lead, and the Bengals needed an onside kick recovery they ended up taking the lead with a minute 30 left or something like that, maybe even less than that. So then the Bears had timeouts, and so the Bengals were up by 1, and the spread is Bears 2.5, right? So even if the Bears go kick a field goal, they win by 2. And what do? The Bengals refuse to tackle Loveland at like the 25-yard line. If they would have tackled him, they would have
had to kick a field goal.
Yeah, they would have run the ball, taken all the time off, right? There's no reason to leave any time on the clock. There was 17 seconds left at that point. And they would have kicked it, and they don't cover. Yeah. Now, I don't know that the Bengals was the right side because the Bears did lead for, I would say, probably 70% of the game, or they were covering for probably at least 70% of the game. So that one was kind of like a whirlwind of like
14. There were 14 points,
right?
Like most of the second half.
Yeah. So that it was a weird one. I definitely won't say that it was the right side, but it felt like it was going to be a win. Like it went from like 3% to like 97% in the span of like 10 real minutes of time, and then it went back to 0%. But
yeah, that's fucking Bears, man. I went out to dinner with my folks to celebrate my mom's birthday, right? And so of course they're like, let's leave at 3. Right? It's like, okay, whatever, it's birthday, fine. We're leaving at 3. Leave at 3, it's like, all right, well, they're up 14 or whatever. It's like, this is fine to leave. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen, right? And literally, we get seated at the restaurant. I had to check my phone, and I couldn't fucking believe it, right? Like, I was like, are you effing kidding me? And then I put my phone down, and I'm like, whatever, I'm not going to, focus. And then, 10 minutes later, just the bar, which is down, the hall from where we're sitting, just erupts. Ah! Everybody's screaming, and I'm like, I have no idea what happened. So I have to check, and of course, then they win, and that was great. But what the fuck, man? You leave to go to dinner, and you're up 14, and then you sit down at dinner, and you're goddamn losing.
Yeah.
Effing Bears.
Yeah. It was interesting. Literally about half the stadium had left, obviously. It's one of those, you need to score quick, get the onside, score again. And so it's literally a 5% at most chance. And then they get it, and then they still lose the game.
Crazy. Second week in a row for them. Poor Bengals. And Flacco is putting up the numbers, man.
Yeah.
Putting up the numbers.
And their defense is just brutal. It's just, I bet they're thinking, maybe we should have kept Anarumo and just got better players or something. I don't know.
They look bad. I thought the Cowboys defense was stinky, but Bengals are worse.
Those have to be 2 of the worst 5, I would say. All right. So, Caleb made the throws he needed to on the last drive.
I mean, that was his throw to Loveland. I mean, that was
a step in the right direction, but
that was a serious throw, big boy throw right there that scored that touchdown.
For sure. All right. Yeah, I have to say one more thing. So they had 2 missed tackles on Loveland on that one, even after he caught it.
Yeah.
Granted, they were in field goal range. They'd probably make that field goal and win anyway. Mm-hmm. And then they show a guy, a Bengals fan in the crowd, and he has a sign that says, "I will not miss tackles. Yeah. I will not miss tackles." It said it like 10 times, which is hilarious because I'm pretty sure like they are like one of the leaders in missed tackles. Like they just can't tackle people when they're supposed to.
Not good.
Which that's got to be coaching, right? Like
coaching and talent at some point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird, like, because you do a thing over and over and over again, and you kind of learn how to do the thing, and it's just at some point that muscle memory has to take over. So you're right. Either the coaches are not practicing the things with the right level of repetition, or they're numb. I don't know, man. The guys have shut down mentally.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about them Bengals.
No, best not to, probably.
Yeah, and like what they're 3-6 or something like that. They have a bye this week, but
I mean, Burrow doesn't help them, right? Like Flacco put up like 40 points in back-to-back weeks, and they still lost both games. Like Burrow,
yeah, I think
Burrow,
they're probably
right?
Yeah, they're probably 4-5. Maybe Burrow's good for one more win if he plays. I don't know.
Yeah, earlier in the season, maybe like one of those games, but the defense seems to have completely fallen apart by this point. So.
But their problems were obvious, and they still chose to sign the receivers and not get a better offensive line. I mean, I think they've tried to get a better offensive line through the draft, but I don't know.
Offensive line is a lot of people's problems right now.
Yeah, for sure. So next one was the Jags and Raiders. So I had the Raiders for 1 star. Raiders led for the entire – they were either tied or led for the entire first half. Then in the fourth quarter, it was back and forth. Raiders take the lead. Jaguars get a last-second field goal to push it to overtime. And then in overtime, the Jaguars have a long drive, like a 7-minute drive. They get a touchdown. But both teams get to possess the ball. So then the Raiders come back. They score a touchdown. And they go for 2, right? Because a tie is basically as good as a loss. So they go for 2. Guys open in the end zone. It gets tipped at the line of scrimmage, and the Jaguars win by 1. So, yeah, I mean, like Raiders, I would say absolutely the right side. They played really well at home. They could have easily won the game. They were covering the spread for most of the game. And then they almost, in overtime, blow it and don't get it, and then they come back and do get it. So it's kind of like a little bit like the Bengals game, where it's just kind of back and forth situation. The next one, we were opposite. You had the Bills, I had the Chiefs. The Bills basically led the whole game.
They look pretty dominant.
Yeah,
they look pretty dominant.
They've beaten the Chiefs five
regular season
in a row?
Yeah.
Or 5 out of 6? Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like they just don't pucker when like the moment's big, right? Like Allen's clutch. Like they're not gonna be like, let's punt the ball back to the Chiefs and let them beat us. They kind of just like, they play the game the right way, and they have the kind of the clutch players to beat them, and at least in the regular season. So, yeah, I mean, the Bills look great. Like they're for sure look like one of the best teams again.
It's weird too, though, if you look at a lot of the power rankings. Obviously, the Bills are near the top of that list, and so are the Chiefs, like top 3, 4, 5, which I kind of get. But then right now they're still sitting out of the playoffs, I think, at 5 and 4. So it's weird to think that we're ranking the Chiefs so high. But there is at least a mathematical possibility that they do not make the playoffs at this point, given what their record is. And I think that's a weird dichotomy, because we were so up on how well the Chiefs looked over the last 2 to 3 weeks, and then they just didn't. They lacked all that fire and passion against the Bills. It's just, I don't know. They didn't play up to their competition here. I don't know.
Yeah,
Chiefs are weird. It's just a weird team this year.
I thought the Bills defense gave Mahomes a little more fits than I
Yes.
thought they would. Like there was
Yes.
a lot of plays where he had nowhere to go.
That's right.
Which just is sort of weird.
Because they've not been that good. I mean, the Bills defense has not. I mean, it's obviously not the Bengals, right, or the Cowboys, but they've not been the unit that they kind of have been in the past.
They have been since the bye, though. They gave a what did they beat? They beat the Panthers like 40-9.
Yeah,
and now
it was,
they held the Chiefs to 21 and kind of controlled the game. So
new life after the bye, perhaps, I guess.
Yeah, so for the Chiefs, I mean, I think they still have to play the Broncos twice.
Yeah.
They play the Chargers, I think, at home.
Yes.
I still think they absolutely will make the playoffs, but yeah, I mean, what are they, 5-4?
I think they're 5-4. Yeah.
So we'll see. And
That's
with
game.
the Colts loss, the Bills, the 1 seed in
no, I think it's the Patriots. No, the Colts are still number 1. Colts, Patriots, Broncos, Steelers.
Okay, yeah, the Bills are only 6-2. They've had their bye. All right, who cares? It's too early to talk about that anymore.
Too early.
Okay. And then Monday night, I had the Cardinals. You had the Cowboys.
Yeah,
and
wrong
the
side.
Cardinals just controlled the entire game. Like the Cowboys didn't have an offensive touchdown until the second half. They got their 1 touchdown in the first half off a blocked punt. How about the Cardinals? Okay, so remember, start the season. I'm like, yeah, I think 8.5 seems high, but maybe it's for a reason. Like I think they're gonna go over. Okay, so they start the year 2-0 against 2 bad opponents, and then they play 4 fairly tough teams, and their worst loss was by 4 points. Half those games they played with Brissett, who's their backup quarterback.
Should they keep playing Brissett? Are they better with Brissett? That was some of the talk.
Well, I mean, like functionally, probably, maybe. At least it's a conversation. But I mean, do you really do that? It's kind of along the same lines of like Caleb Williams and McCarthy that we've talked about. It's like you got to go with the person who you think is going to be the franchise quarterback because you have to at least know what you have. Although Murray has been in the league for a while, and Brissett is simply just playing better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they'll still go back to Murray, but
they've been competitive. I mean, like Weird lost the Titans, right? And it was only by 1 point, but they're not getting blown out, right? Like even against the Colts, they were within 4 points.
Yeah, at the Colts and against the Packers, they lose by 4 points.
And they lost to 3 in Seattle. Everybody loves Seattle right now, and they lost by 1 to the Niners. I know all those are division games. And then they were competitive against the Packers, which now I'm not so sure how good the Packers are, but this is a competitive team. This is not a team that isn't. I mean, they're right there in the mix. Maybe it makes sense for them to move forward with Brissett at this point.
Yeah, well, that'll be interesting because I'm pretty sure. I think Murray was almost available this week, so I think health-wise he'll be available if they need him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was given stink face too on the sideline. Murray, like it was towards the end of the game, and they flashed to him, and the Cardinals were going to score again, and he didn't look like he didn't have touchdown face on. Yeah. Sitting from the sidelines.
He doesn't show much emotion usually at all, but especially positive emotion.
He looked a little sour-faced.
So if you remember, I said, why is it only 2.5? The Cowboys should be able to win by a field goal at home. Everyone's going to be thinking that. Well, yeah, the Cardinals, they've played tough teams. They've kept every game close. I guess it just makes a ton of sense at this point. But all right, that was long-winded.
All right,
we got another week this week, and we have 14 games to get through. So let's do it. First, let's see who's on bye. Bye teams, week 10. It is the Bengals, much needed. Maybe they'll get all new defensive players or something. And then Flacco with his shoulder AC joint sprain deal
looked totally ineffective.
I mean, he looked great. I mean, he played well, but he needed a shot before the game, they said. And now you get 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I would guess that'll be mostly recovered.
Yeah.
But they need to re-scheme the defense for sure. So speaking of that, Cowboys are also on bye. The Chiefs are on bye, and the Titans are on bye. All right. So
God, how did I overbid this?
I don't know.
Broncos Raiders.
Okay, so Raiders Broncos tomorrow night, division game. I went Broncos 8.5.
I went 13.5. It's 9.5. Why is it so low?
I'll tell you why I think it's low. Okay. Or wait, you said 13.5.
I did. I went way high.
Okay. And then it is
9.5.
Open at 10. It's coming down. Broncos. So I get that one. Okay. So the Raiders. Okay. The Jaguars are what, 5-3? So the Raiders just played them tough. Like very easily could have won that game. The Jags needed a field goal in the final seconds of the fourth quarter just to push it to overtime. So the Raiders haven't given up. Like they're well coached. I don't know that Geno Smith is that great. Like their roster isn't spectacular, but this is a division game. The Broncos haven't blown teams out, right? Division game. The only question mark I would say for the Raiders, like as far as like not completely not being competitive, is they just played an overtime game and they played basically the full overtime, extra 10 minutes. And now it's a quick turnaround on Thursday. So I think division game, Raiders have showed they have some fight. They're not like losing to get draft picks or anything like that. And the Broncos just haven't been blowing teams out much. So I think that's why it's lower. But I kind of get where you were headed. Like the Broncos have one of the best records in the league. The Raiders have one of the worst records in the league. And you almost went 14. So like I get that. So it's in between our guesses.
Yeah, Broncos at home, and the Raiders have not been good, and their Geno Smith has been terrible at times. A lot of turnover prone, and yeah, this one seems high or low. But I mean, you're right within a division game, and this division has been competitive in the past. I mean, all that makes sense. But what the fuck? Come on, guys.
So I'm not going to say the Raiders are going to win this game, but I wouldn't be surprised at all, just based on the Broncos not really running away from teams, that this is a one-score game like late, and like the Raiders maybe have a chance to win. So as far as two-score spreads go, I think this isn't a horrible, like, if you need. Let me say this: if I had the Broncos still available in my eliminator pool, I probably wouldn't take him because it does scare me just a little bit. All right.
Okay.
So what was last Thursday? Ravens blew out the Dolphins.
Yep.
I feel like it's been, when was the last decent Thursday game? Like it seems like they've been.
They have been, yes.
One team is way more injured than the other team, or like more rested, and it just seems like these haven't been good games. But let's just have a good game, huh? So we have something to watch.
Yeah, there haven't been, but I mean, that has been the knock on the Thursday. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati was interesting.
And that was a really good game, actually. That was a couple weeks ago.
And then when the Giants trashed Philly, that was also kind of fun.
Yeah.
But historically, the Thursday night games have not been good, right? And there's been a lot of criticism as to just the shortness of the schedule and preparedness, and they're just going to have a shittier game because the turnaround time is so low. But the matchups, like we have gotten some amazing Sunday matchups, and those just don't seem to happen on Thursday night. Like where's Bills Chiefs on Thursday night, right? Like that's.
So they purposely don't do that, right?
Yeah,
they purposely throw these kind of like.
That's probably it, right? They know they're going to be shitty, so put the shittier game on Thursday.
I think Thursday's a lot more like these teams aren't, or at least one of these teams isn't as good. But let's give them a primetime game, sort of a situation.
What do you think Amazon feels about that?
I don't know, and part of it I think they try to not have quick turnarounds for teams. So like, I don't know, Thursday coming off a bye, I think they've done a couple times, and I don't know, I'm pretending like I know, but I really kind of don't. So let's go on to another game. Doesn't get any easier for the Falcons. They got the Colts. So Falcons at Colts. I said Colts by 6.5.
I went high again, man. I went 11.5.
So this is, it opened at 6. 6.5. 3 6.5s, and so I get it right on the nuts,
dude.
Okay, so.
But now they're improved with sauce.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner is on
Sauce.
the squad. The Jets, after their first win, didn't think they could reel off 9 in a row, so they got rid of the Sauce
And some other folks as well. 2 first-round picks.
for Sauce.
Yes. Plus some other stuff. 2 first round. One next year, one in 2027.
Just to lose to the Chiefs or Bills or Broncos in the playoffs.
So, like, yeah, that felt like a way overpay. Like, when was the last time you went and said, oh, fuck yeah, corner? That's what we need, and we're Super Bowl bound. Like, and it's good. I'm not trying to take away anything from Sauce Gardner or his talent, but like, when would you go, oh yeah, that's what we need, and we're promised land?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they feel like they, you have the record this year. You want to make the push because
maybe
you're
that's it.
kind of almost guaranteed a playoff spot unless
Yeah.
something weird happens, and your offensive line is kind of set. And then Jones obviously can play well behind a good offensive line. And Jonathan Taylor, I don't know where he's at in his contract, but maybe you feel like, fine, let's give up these picks. Maybe we're giving up too much, but we're okay because we don't need as much in the draft, and we just kind of like, if you're gonna do it, and just who cares? But
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Look, the Rams have made their bones by slinging picks, right? Like, and they have had. I mean, they got a Super Bowl out of it, right? And then they've been competitive every year. So I maybe who might have criticized, right? Because there's some sort of blueprint there for this kind of success. But to your point, man, to do that and then just to get bounced by the or not the Ravens, but the Bills or the Chiefs, I don't know. Just felt like a weird thing to not. I mean, I don't know. I would want first round talent. I would want access to first round talent all the time.
Yeah.
Just me.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see if it pays off. I mean, I don't know. Is it worth it if they make it to the AFC Championship game?
I mean, I guess if they make it to the AFC Championship game and it's because Sauce Gardner has 42 picks, then yes, it's probably worth it. Yes.
All right. Okay, so Colts 6.5.
Yeah.
The Falcons, like I said, they're talented. They play teams tough, so you don't go more than a touchdown. But Colts clearly the better team, coming off a loss at Pittsburgh, coming back home, want to get back on track. I do not see the Falcons winning this game. Like, I think the Colts have been too consistent. The Falcons have been too inconsistent. So I don't know if it's going to be by more than 6.5, because I felt like the Patriots should have beat the Falcons by a touchdown or more, and the Falcons came back and kind of backdoored that. So fair line. What do you do?
I really kind of want to take the Falcons here.
You can.
I know I can. I don't like all that red ink. All right, you know what I am? I'm going to take the Falcons. I want to take a 1-star on the Falcons.
All right.
To cover.
Okay, we got one on the Falcons. All right, let's move on. We got the Ravens at the Vikings in the battle of the purple teams.
Yeah.
I said Ravens 3.5.
I went Vikings. Give me Vikings -3.
And it is.
Dude, your lasers today. 4.
It opened at 3.5. It's up to mostly 4. Okay, so
lasers.
I know I didn't get them all this close. I got a couple. I was off by a field goal or more. Okay, so the Ravens last week were a huge favorite at Miami, and I was like, this doesn't make sense, but I just couldn't take the road favorite by more than a touchdown. And what did they do? They beat them by two or 3 scores. So
Vikings aren't the Dolphins. They're a better team.
That's true. So
better team.
I'll make the case why it's the Ravens at the Vikings by more than a field goal. So last week, the Ravens are obviously a lot healthier. Their defense is healthy. They lost one of their linemen for the year like a month ago, but they're as healthy as they can be. Like, they're not like Hamilton's healthy, and I think Humphrey is healthy. And then Lamar Jackson had no limitations. Like, he was running the ball and didn't have a setback with his hamstring, I think it was. So they were favored heavily against the Dolphins. They covered. I think a lot of people think that they're back to what they were supposed to be this year. And on the other side, so the Vikings the Vikings go into Detroit and they beat the Lions in Detroit with McCarthy, right? So they're on this high, like we just beat them on the road. Like, has anyone else beat Detroit at Detroit this year? I doubt it, and it probably won't happen for the rest of the year. So
you think they were just surprised by McCarthy and like no tape and that sort of thing? Like what?
no, I just think it was a really good game plan, and the Vikings just kind of they punched him in the mouth, and then they just kind of kept adding on, and like I don't know, like yeah, I don't know. And like the defense played great. Like they blitzed Goff at the right times, and it was just they made the plays. Like Detroit always seems to make the big plays when they need them against the Vikings, and the Vikings got a couple sacks. They got a fumble when they needed it the most, and like I don't know, just kind of one of those things. And then yeah, like third down, and you need a conversion to ice the game. Otherwise, I would have said the Lions absolutely will come back and win this game. And they get man coverage, and he throws it to his third best receiver and just drops it right in. The guy makes a great catch. That's the shit that I've been waiting for out of a Vikings quarterback.
He looks
since
good.
like what Favre, who could actually like win a game in the clutch or like ice a game.
That was a great season he had in Minnesota. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm like, why are they so conservative? They ran it on first and second down, and I'm like, oh, geez, here we go again. But yeah, they put it in JJ's hands, and he made a really good throw. So, but like I was saying, like they're on a high now. How do they respond to that? Right? Like you're jacked up. You just beat what some people were saying maybe is the best team in the NFL, if not like the top 3 or 4 team on the road. Sure. How do you respond to that? Like it's tough to bring that emotion. Like you tend to be overconfident and you're too high, and then you kind of have a dud against a team that needs every win they can get because they only have 3 of them. So granted, I do think the Vikings are well coached, and I think they'll be more ready than some teams would be in this spot, but it makes sense why the Ravens are favored. I don't know. Maybe I'm actually getting some optimism in my team. Like more than 3 just seems like a lot, especially in Minnesota. Can be a kind of a tough place to play. So
if the Vikings for one.
Yeah, if it weren't my team and everything else was the same, I would take the Vikings side, but I'm still a little like leery. I'm not gonna. When McCarthy can back up a really good game with another really good game, we just don't have that sample yet. Then sure, but I'm just gonna stay away from it.
I'll take the Vikings.
All right.
I like him here. I like the coach. I thought that was an impressive win. I thought McCarthy's win in week 1 against the Bears was goddamn impressive. Like in his first game, he leads a comeback, right? Like in there with everything that happened last year and all the shit he had to live up to and all the questioning about should they get rid of Darnold and everything. He showed a lot of fucking guts to win that game, to come back on the road, right? Because that was in Chicago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And so now he's got 2, I would say, for a rookie, 2 really impressive road wins on his resume. And I just think the Ravens are still probably a broken team, right? Yeah. Like, and I think we've seen enough of them this season to at least question their ability to win games week to week. And to have them favored on the road like this, yeah, give me the Vikings. I think they can keep it within a field goal. That feels right.
Yeah, it seems like McCarthy sort of has that clutch gene, and like another big thing, like the very best quarterbacks, and I'm not saying he's that, but can like feel the pressure, and he's a lot quicker than a lot of people think he is. So like he's mobile. If he can feel blitzes step up in the pocket or roll out, like you can get away from some of these pressures. Unlike like Darnold's not going to win a foot race against most quarterbacks. They just haven't had a mobile quarterback that has shown that they can make like clutch plays, right? Like even when they had Cousins, it was like his primetime record was like 1-9 or something over his last 10 primetime games or something like that.
You got to go back to Mike Tyson, Dante Culpepper.
All right, enough about my Vikings. Let's move on to this is a good one here. Patriots at the Bucks.
Ooh,
Bucks off a bye.
Love it.
I said Bucks by 2.
I got Pats given 3. Boy, I'm really all over the place this week.
So I think I'm close. I did almost nail this.
Yeah,
So 2.5. Bucks 2.5. So this one, okay. Evans is on IR.
Mm,
So I think if Evans is playing, it's probably more like 3
mm.
for the Bucks. Okay, so Bucks off a bye. Patriots have won, I don't know, 5 in a row, something like that. Okay, so Patriots are obviously very well coached. May's playing really well. They got a pretty good defense. So, um, it, but it's kind of, this is kind of the scenario that the Colts were in last week, right? You're not going to win every game. Like when you go on the road against a team coming off a bye, that's very solid. The Bucks only have 2 or 3 losses. Like this is going to be a tough spot for the Patriots. They might play well. They could win this game, but I'm absolutely every time picking the Bucks in this spot off a bye with Baker against, that locker room saying like, Patriots, these guys have won like 5 in a row. Let's kind of put them in their place a little bit. Like they're not that good, and I think the Bucks are going to have the juice, and I think they cover this. So I'm going to go 3 stars on the Bucks.
Yeah.
With my first pick of the week.
I mean, I don't know. I really like the Bucks, and they lost to the Lions, and they sort of fell out of love with them. I mean, they're still leading their division. They still have Baker. I think I have faith in him as a quarterback who can lead teams to victory. But I don't know. Something about this Patriots team and that Lions loss makes me question them. And then, man, the Panthers are right there, dude, at 5-4. So the Bucks better watch out. Because if they lose this game, then they're at 6-3, and I don't know. Panthers is the division winners. Yeah.
Real quick, the Panthers. Yes. I saw something. The Panthers are the first team ever, or something like that, through the first 9 games, who have been an underdog in every single game and have won more games than they've lost. I think they're 5-4.
Yeah, they're 5-4. That's That's a crazy stat that they've been. Well, I mean, nobody has any faith. I mean, that makes sense to me that they're underdogs because the narrative of how shitty they are. I mean, that was a pretty stinky narrative they were cloaked in. So I don't know. I mean, I get it, but are they good? They beat the Packers. Are the Packers good? That was a weird.
I wish game. I would have seen some of that game because low scoring, and then I think the Panthers were up 7, and then the Packers tied it, and then somehow the Panthers kick a field goal
to win. Yeah,
as time expires, I think.
Yeah.
But
they were about to be tied twice this year.
Like, so they're clearly like talented on offense and defense, right? Like you don't win these games against really good teams if you're not. I just think it must be sometimes the game plan. Like, and they've also had the doors blown off a couple times, right? So yeah, I mean, like
it's a weird team.
They're making progress. Like I think their coach is
no question.
We'll get to this in a little bit, but I think their coach obviously is making strides. Like he's doing what
Frank Reich
he needs to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that in a couple here. But what do you think? Are you doing anything with the Pats?
No, I'm not going to do anything with this. I'll save my love for later. But I do think I like the Pats here. Yeah. I'm not going to take them, but I do think the Pats come out on top again in this game.
Yeah, and like I said, so I say it's a bad spot for teams. Like the Patriots are one of the maybe 5 teams in the league that some of this stuff doesn't matter as much because they're really well coached, and like I think they get up for games better than anyone else coming off a winning streak or a huge road win or something like that. So we'll see. I just think the Bucks is the right side here. All right. Okay. So we're gonna go Jaguars at the Texans, and it's probably going to be the Davis Mills Texans because
Stroud concussed. I should have readjusted this.
Likely to not clear protocol, and I clearly didn't adjust it, but that's all right. I went Texans 3.5.
So I have Texans giving 4.5, and it's probably swung towards the Jaguars.
It's like one. Texans are still favored by 1.5.
But it only opened. It opened at 1, so it's actually moving closer towards the Texans. But
I get that one. Hold
Yes.
on. Oh yeah.
Running the table, dude.
Yeah, got them all so far.
Mhm.
So, all right. Stroud concussion.
Mm.
The best reports out there say he's likely to not play,
Mhm.
but there's still a chance he could play. This is one of those like whether he plays or not. So Davis Mills moved the ball against the Broncos, and they ended up kicking 3 or 4 field goals while he was in the game. Couldn't get it in the end zone, but um, I don't know. Like either way, if Stroud ends up playing, I like the 1.5. Obviously, if Mills plays again, not a lot of tape on him. He's shown that he was their actual starter for a while before they got Stroud. Like they put him in there and he did well enough to start almost a full season one season, I think. So Jaguars off an overtime win. It seems like the Jags kind of have 9 lives. Like they're down 14 to the Chiefs and they end up pulling it out, kind of a little bit lucky. They are losing to the Raiders most of the game. Goes to overtime. They end up winning. I mean, one play at the end. If the Raiders get the 2-point conversion, they lose that game, right? I forget what other games they had that were close, but it just seems like I don't know. The Texans need one bad, and the Jags have kind of been, flirting with losing some of these close games, and they've ended up winning them. I like the Texans, whether Stroud or Mills plays here at home, and I'm just gonna go 1 star. Obviously, there's a little bit of uncertainty there, but I like it. I like the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't like the Jaguars, although they are in playoff position at this point, holding the 7th seed just in front of the Chiefs. And the Texans feel like they're not going to make the playoffs. I don't know. I think I do like the Texans here as well. I'm going to stay away. But I feel like I like the Jags to shoot themselves in the foot in this game in some way.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just like holding on to my preseason negative attitude towards them and Cohen, and like maybe they're actually
I don't think so.
like they're doing something right in these close games and they're winning them, right?
I mean, they have 5-3, right? But so are the Bears. I don't know. Like, what does 5-3 really mean anymore?
Yeah, I mean, strength of schedule. Someone did a comparison between Caleb Williams and who was it? Another quarterback that's having a good year, like an MVP type year. I can't remember who it was. And their stat, you're right. Like you do this thing, and their stats are like almost identical.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, look at the strength of schedule of both teams to this point, right? Like, let's wait and see how the season plays out.
Yep.
But yeah, who knows? All right, so I'm going Texans, regardless of quarterback, -1.5. Okay, we got a really good one here. The Browns at the Jets, the sauceless Jets.
And they traded their star defensive tackle, too, the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, Quinnen Williams. He gone.
So they fire-sailed it, which I guess makes sense, given where they're at.
Right. So I went Browns 1.5.
Yeah, I should have adjusted this, but I didn't. I went Jets 1.5.
Okay, so let's see. It opened at Jets 2.5, then they get rid of their 2 best defensive players. And so now it's Browns 2.5. So I get this, but I absolutely do not deserve that one because I guessed this before any of that happened and I didn't adjust it. So if they didn't trade their 2 best defensive players, this absolutely would have been Jets favored.
Yes. And it was.
So like it was like the dumbest luck ever for me to get that because I was wrong. Okay, so I don't know.
This isn't a good game. Neither of these teams are doing anything. It's like in the Jets, they've raised a white flag, right? So there just aren't any more expectations for them this year.
Right.
So, I mean,
this is a weird one for me. Like I'm either going to take the Jets or I'm not going to take anyone. And here's what I'll say. So the Browns, are the Browns off a bye?
Yes.
And their defense played really bad the game before.
Yeah.
Now their defense is very good. I do expect their defense to play really well. However, on the Jets side, it's a home game. They won their first game of the year, right? And I think they maybe had a bye as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that both of these teams had a bye. Anyway, so now you get rid of your two best defensive players. I think most people would say, oh, like now they're really gonna suck. But in the short term, I think you respond like they gotta win. They haven't given up. They're gonna play decent, and it's not like the Browns are juggernauts offensively. Like I could see this being a weird, like low scoring game, and I think the Jets is the right side. I don't know. I don't like it enough. I'm not gonna pick it, but I do think I think there's gonna be an overreaction to the Jets losing those players, and I think the Jets is the right side.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair call. I just, again, like, can either of these teams crap their way into a win in this game? Yeah.
Right. Who knows? I don't maybe wait. If it's close, turn it on in the fourth quarter, but
there it is.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Saints at the Panthers. I have Panthers by 8.5.
I went Panthers given 3.5.
And we are both not super close, but I think you get that one.
Woo-hoo!
On the board.
Whoa, 5.5.
5.5.
I'm 2 away. Woohoo! Yes, 1 on the board.
All right.
Okay.
So I said I was going to say something about the Panthers when it got to this. So if so they've been underdogs every game and they've won 5 out of 9, and now they're favored by more than a field goal against a really bad team at home, but they basically just won the Super Bowl as far as they're concerned. You go on the road to Green Bay, your defense plays great, you pull out a victory, it was like 16-13. How do you respond? Now, if the Panthers control this game and they can cover 5.5, I'm going to say Canales is a really good coach because they're a younger team, and this is a spot where a team blows chunks, doesn't play well, maybe still wins the game, but just plays like crap for like the first half, maybe first 3 quarters. All the time it happens. And no, the Saints are not good. They're 1-8, and they're starting this guy whose name is Shoe, and he kind of plays like a shoe most of the time. But I guess 8.5. It is a lot lower. There's a reason for that. If the Saints are gonna get one or play competitively, like this is a spot division game. Panthers off a huge win on the road, maybe a little overconfident. I always love these like really bad teams, but I'm going Saints plus 5.5 for 3 stars, and I love it as much as you can love the Saints.
Yeah, I mean the Panthers are right there. The NFC playoff picture is really fascinating because right now the Lions are the 7th seed. Which
the Lions probably still win the North, I think.
I mean, the way the Packers are playing, I think that makes sense. But then right below the playoff line, Bears, Panthers, Vikings, 5-3, 5-4, 4-4. That is a lot of competitive wealth right there in terms of record. The AFC is way worse. Like right around that playoff line. Way, way worse. There's like after the Chiefs, it sort of falls off a cliff. So the NFC has been oddly competitive at this point in the season. And so the Panthers have everything to play for. Like they are right there sniffing at the heels of playoff contention. So they have to have this. The game they have to have.
Right.
They have to have it.
And yeah, I mean it's like you got a 5-4 team at home against a 1-8 team, and it's 5.5. Like I can guarantee you, most people are just gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'm absolutely taking the Panthers." Like, why are they so low? Like, yeah, it's a gimme, and most of the time it just isn't. So I'm going Saints. That's all I gotta say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
And but I really do. I hope the Panthers do kind of
Me too.
win convincingly because they're just a team I like to root for, and like it would say, like I said, it would say a lot about their coach coming back after a huge win to just like take care of business. All right,
Yep.
we're about halfway through. Let's do
do
the
it.
Giants at the Bears. Right over there, like 65 miles down the road, they're going to play on Sunday. And I said it would be the Bears by straight 3.
Same.
The Bears.
The Bears.
It is
3.5.
3.5.
The Bears.
All right, so that's a tie.
Tis.
What do you think about your team in this spot?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I mean, they're good against, that's big, good's too strong word. They're competitive against bad teams, right? And they can beat a bad team, and the Giants are a bad team. And so I think 3 feels right because they're home, because they're also susceptible to startling quarterback play. And I think Jackson Dart is capable of doing some fun, startling things on the football field. So I honestly, I think the Bears. This feels like a trap game for the Bears. I think the Giants probably come away with the win here. This is just me being a negative Bears fan and not liking to have nice things, but I just feel like this is definitely the type of Bear game that the Bears like to lose. Coming off a wild, crazy victory like they had, and then a team that they should beat comes in and takes a dump on them.
I completely agree with you. The only thing is the Giants are kind of starting to be a little dysfunctional.
Yes.
So, you question that a little bit.
The wheels coming off, coach knowing he's sort of on the way out.
Right. But the Giants are frisky.
Yes.
They ain't giving up. They're not giving up 47 to the Bears.
Nope.
And Dart is solid. The Bears have a lot of injuries in this.
They do.
On the defense.
They do.
I think the hook, the 3.5, 3 seemed right, and 3.5 can be tough.
Especially since they have a field goal kicker who doesn't like to make field goals sometimes.
Right.
I mean, he's missed 2 field goals already this season, 3 maybe. It's not great. Right. It's not great.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely going Giants. The 3.5, the hook on the 3 is tough. So I'm going to go 2 stars on the Giants here.
I'm going to stay away.
And I think, if the Bears, get out to an early lead, maintain the lead, and win this convincingly by more than 3.5 points, I'll be more surprised than if this is a close game and ends up being a field goal either way. So, to me, the Giants is the right side. When is the Bears' schedule going to get a little tougher, though? You get the Giants at home. This is obviously a very winnable game.
It starts to pick up after this because then they've got the Lions, the Packers twice. They're going to play the Eagles, I think, once.
Got the Vikings in Minnesota.
Yes, the Vikings on the road.
Yeah, we'll see.
Steelers, they're going to be playing. Yeah, they're playing the Steelers, the Vikings. After Giants, they got Vikings, Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, Niners, Lions. So it's not
holy Lord.
Yeah, it's a.
I mean, the Browns obviously is the easy one, but the rest of all those teams have winning records, and so I would say Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Lions are probably top 10 teams in the league. Maybe the Steelers are fringe.
Yeah.
And then in Minnesota, it's not going to be easy, obviously. So, yeah, that's.
I mean, I don't.
We'll find out. Yeah. We're going to find out if they're legit or not.
Right. Well, they're not legit, but can they? They're at 5 wins. Can they get to 7 or 8? I think is the question. There's 3 more wins on that schedule. That's going to be hard.
Right.
I mean, you got to take 1 from the Packers. You got to then even up against the Lions and the Vikings. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So you absolutely have to beat the Browns at home. And then can you get the Packers at home? Maybe.
Yeah.
Can you get the Steelers at home?
The Steelers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the game. Outside of the Browns game, you kind of really. But I don't honestly. You probably got to get to 10 wins in the NFC right now to get into that.
Because what's the 7th spot?
It's 5-3 right now with the Lions. The Lions are 5-3. So I think 10 wins for sure.
Yeah, and the Lions absolutely are getting to 10, right?
I would say, yeah. If any team, it would be stunning if they didn't make 10 wins this season.
Right. And you've got the Panthers are not in the playoffs and they have a winning record. So yeah, it's definitely. I think it's probably going to be 10. We'll see. All right. Bills at the Dolphins.
Yes.
Woof. The
Ooh.
Dolphins.
Mm,
When is McDaniel? I mean, obviously they must be giving him the whole season, but
I guess. Unless he does something really like an epic meltdown, like Eberflus had on Thanksgiving last year. Like, I agree. He's probably of the year.
they look really good at times, and then they just like
Fall
have a
apart.
fumble or
Yeah.
they like do dumb stuff. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, Bills at Dolphins. I went Bills by a touchdown.
That Bill's given 4.5.
So neither one of us were that close. I don't think it is
9.5.
9.5 Bills.
Wow.
I mean, the Bills have looked great, so
They
whatever. And the Dolphins have looked dysfunctional, so
Yep.
I get that one. But
Yep.
Okay, so the Bills off the bye. They beat the Panthers 40-9. Then they beat the Chiefs 28-21. And now they play the measly Dolphins, and they're favored by 9.5. The one thing I will say about the Dolphins is the Dolphins went into Buffalo week like 3 after being 0-2. No one gave them a chance, and they had a real chance to win that game. In the fourth quarter, it's a one-score game. I think they were about to score and then threw that pick, so they would have taken the lead through the pick, and then obviously they lose the game. But at that point, people were saying, have the Dolphins given up already? And they fought. They played hard. Against the Bills in Buffalo. So this is a division game. I don't know. Like, this is obviously a little bit different because now they're basically out of the playoffs already. I don't know what you're going to get. This is high.
That's why I take the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins for 2.
All right.
I think they can cover this. I think they can cover this.
I do too, but at the same time, it's like, why is it so high? Like last week, right?
Is Tua injured?
No.
I guess he's always injured. This is a stupid question.
It was so the Ravens at the Dolphins was high, and they still cover. Bills at the Dolphins high. I don't know. Like I'm not doing anything with this.
That's smart talk.
Yeah. I mean, 9.5 is a ton though. Like, is this one of those fluke games where the Dolphins get a win against? I mean, the Dolphins beat the Falcons at the Falcons 2 weeks ago and like blew them out, right? So like they've obviously shown that they can have a good game plan and execute in, here and there, but the consistency is just not there. So we'll see. All right. Cardinals at the Seahawks. Could be a good one. I got the Seahawks by 5.5.
Same. 5.5.
It is 6.5. All right. So this is an interesting one. The Cardinals, like we said before, they're 3-5, and all 5 losses I think were by 4 points or fewer. And if you remember, these two teams played. I think it was a Thursday night game, like week 3 or 4, week 4 or 5. Cardinals were getting blown out the entire game. They had a couple scores late. They end up losing by 3. But the Seahawks absolutely controlled that game. So now you've got, I mean, the Seahawks are nasty. Like, they're absolutely a top 5 team for me because they're just so consistent. Darnold has played off the charts. Their defense is like, they're big up front, and they I don't know, like they just don't really make mistakes. Like, they're just really solid. And Smith and Jigba's a stud. So it makes sense why it's 6.5, sort of. Like, when's the last time the Seahawks lost a game?
The Seahawks lost a game back to the Buccaneers in early October. And they was close game, 35-38.
Oh yeah, that was the game where like both quarterbacks' completion percentage was like 80% or something like that.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, so the two schools of thought are, okay, the Cardinals have played everyone tough. Of course, they can cover 6.5. And the other school of thought is the Seahawks have blown good teams out at times. And the only team they've lost to is the Buccaneers, who are a very solid team. So can they win by a touchdown? You might think absolutely. So I think I don't know. Like, it's tough. I think I lean the Cards a little bit just because it is a division game and they've played well. They obviously haven't given up. They're 3-5. 6.5 can be a lot.
It could be a lot, and who's starting right now, right? Because if it's Murray, maybe I like the Seahawks to actually cover. If not, maybe I like the Cards to cover, but the Seahawks still to win. Let's get to Kendon Slovis.
Who's this? Is he their third stringer?
I hope so.
Future Raiders QB Kyler Murray.
Sounds about right, actually.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Benching Kyler Murray is the right move.
They did. They stick with Brissett.
Oh, yeah. ESPN says that Brissett's going to start. So
give me the Cardinals here. I would take the Cards for 2 stars.
All right. 2-banger. Okay, so Brissett's starting. So Seahawks at home, are they going to continue controlling the game, winning by a touchdown, or Cardinals have never lost by 6.5 points or more? Are they going to keep it competitive in a divisional game? We'll see.
We shall see.
Very, very interested to see which way that one goes. Okay, let's do Rams at the Niners. There's another. This is the same situation at quarterback. It's like Jones has played so well. Like if Purdy's healthy, I mean, that's a little different. I think Purdy definitely plays, but how can you bench him when he's winning games?
I don't know. Like, and you joke about sort of Kyler Murray as the next Raiders quarterback makes so much sense. But what about Mac Jones? Like, where's Mac Jones going to be next year? He'll be starting somewhere. Jets, maybe Dolphins.
So one headline says Kyle Shanahan finally admits what everyone suspected about Purdy's injury. So it says he's going to battle turf toe for the rest of the year. Like it's not going to get to 100%. So I don't know. Like I think here's what I'll say. I think until Mac Jones plays poorly, I think he's just going to keep playing because like you're winning games. Like why rush Purdy back when he's not 100%? We've shown it like the last game he played, it definitely affected a few throws. Like he airmailed a couple throws. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be Mac Jones until Mac Jones plays bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rams at Niners. I went Rams by 1 on the road.
Got Rams given 2.5.
Think you got it. So,
yeah, it's 3.5.
Okay, so it is 3.5.
Woot.
All right, so the last one we tied. This one you got it. Okay, I guess it's a fair line. The Rams are borderline, if not definitely a top 5 team in the NFL at this point. Mm-hmm. They lost to the Niners at home on that Thursday night game when they ran the ball on 4th and 1, and most people said he should have thrown it. The Rams, I think, definitely are a better team. Man, this is a division game. Like,
it'd be a good game.
This absolutely, I think, is Rams win but don't cover. Like, it just really feels like it's going to be a close game. I don't think the Rams blow them out, but I think they get a little redemption and they get the win against, Mac Jones and, like Fred Warner's not coming back. Nick Bosa's not coming back. Like, I think the Rams win but don't cover. I'm going to say that. So I don't like the Niners enough to take them, I don't think, but I think it's the right side.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I think right now it's the Rams are the better team given where the Niners are at injury wise. But the Niners find ways to be competitive. So who knows? This is the best game so far of the week. I don't know if there's any question about that. Pats Bucks is good too, I suppose.
Yeah, Pats Bucks is good. Cards Seahawks is interesting, but it's the caliber of both teams obviously isn't quite as good.
It's NFC West, huh? It's an interesting division.
Yeah, so Seahawks are obviously in first, right? But the Rams
right there.
So the loser of this game, Rams Niners, kind of falls a couple games behind the Seahawks. So this is kind of a big one at this point. I mean, we're only halfway through, but still, there's going to be some good games down the stretch in this division. Like even the Cardinals have shown they're frisky, right? Like every game in this division is going to be sort of a toss-up.
It'll be, I mean, and again, playoffs aren't tomorrow, right, or after this week, but it will absolutely shake up like if the Niners lose, they're going to fall out of playoff contention.
So right now. Is this is the probably not record wise, but this is the best division, right? Like
I would think so. I mean, if we look at total wins, let's see.
I mean, the NFC North is obviously
21 wins. Let's see. It's 19 wins. Yes, at least in the NFC by record. Yes.
Right, and I think, yeah, I don't know. Like the Bears and the Vikings, I don't know. Like, are the Bears or Vikings better than the Niners or Rams? I'm gonna say both. No. Right. So yeah, I mean, the West might be the best division. All right.
Yeah, pound for pound.
Let's go. We got 3 left. So we got Lions at the Commanders. Did you see Jaden Daniels' arm?
I didn't, but he's probably done for the year, right?
Well,
with that elbow injury.
So it looked apparently worse than it was. His elbow. Yeah, his arm bent the wrong way. So he dislocated his elbow, which it looked like he completely busted his arm. But I think since it was a dislocation, you set it. And like I want to say they're going to be so far out of it by the time he comes back anyway. But I want to say he's not technically out for the year.
They're 3-5 at this point. Like, why would you mess with him? You know?
All right. I don't know. So who knows? Right away, I saw like that he might not be out for the whole year. But whatever. They're what are they?
3-5.
3-5. I mean, it's just kind of a lost season for them.
Feels like it.
Okay. So you got the Lions off a loss at home coming into Washington against Marcus Mariota's Commanders. I went Lions by 7.
The Lions giving 6.5.
Whoa. 6.5, and it is
9.
Okay, so it was 4.5, but that was before Daniels got hurt. So apparently Daniels is worth 4.5 points. It is 9. So I barely get that one. We both said about a touchdown. It's more. Lions are going to be a little pissed off after that loss to the Vikings at home,
and they kind of need this one.
And
they kind of need this one. They're 5-3, so they don't want to be 5-4.
Right. So I have no idea on this one. It's higher than I thought, which makes me want to like the Lions, but 9 is a lot for a road favorite. I have no opinion on this one. Staying away. It's fair enough.
Yeah, and then again, I don't know what the Commanders are bringing. Maybe they make it a good game, but
right. All right, let's move on then.
Yes.
Okay, we got Steelers at the Chargers, and I did not get this one right.
I went Chargers given 3.5.
And you are very close. I said a pick 'em, and I'll tell you why. It is. Let's see what it is. It is 3 for the Chargers. So Josh gets that one. So Joe Alt is out for the season. Both of the Chargers tackles got hurt and are out for the season. Slater and Alt. Okay. So knowing that, I'm like, I don't see, like, I went pick them because I'm like, okay, the Chargers are at home. They're probably a little bit better team, but you lose both your tackles. Like, this is probably a toss-up. Apparently not. So the Chargers traded for a Saints lineman who, like, I looked him up real quick. Like, he's nothing special, but apparently he's good enough to start ahead of what they have.
Yeah, they've just, I mean, the offensive line has been decimated almost since jump. So this is just an odd season for them, a season that they had a lot of expectations, and then it's just, you can't win in the NFL without a good offensive line. It's just, that's the big thing right now to me.
So yeah,
and I agree. Given that this is a little higher than I thought it would be. I mean, obviously I went 3, but that's more because I just don't believe in the Steelers, which is maybe stupid at this point. But
so, couple stories here. Yeah. Chargers lose both their tackles, and now you're going to try to block T.J. Watt and Highsmith. Okay, so can they do that? Can they at least do it well enough to, like, play a decent game.
Yeah.
Steelers flying across the country to the West Coast after beating the Colts, who Colts had only had one loss before that.
Yep.
So can they respond and play a good game on the road? So there's a couple huge question marks. I don't know. Like, I guess Chargers by 3 is fair enough. I don't know what to think. Like, the Chargers clearly show that they cannot protect Herbert without their tackles. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I want to say Steelers here because they're an underdog and they got that pass rush, but I also think maybe the Chargers can scheme it up a little bit and cover for those weaknesses, at least in the short term. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't want to like the Steelers, but to your point, if there's no offensive line for the Chargers and the Steelers pass rush can be potent, that just feels like a bad matchup, even on the road.
Right.
So I'm stay away from this one for sure.
Yeah, could be. I mean, should be a good game. So that's Sunday night, right? Like prime time. Like,
yeah,
I mean, that sounds like a solid game.
Yeah.
Tuning in. All right, and then Monday we got a really good one too. So Eagles at the Packers. So I said Packers by 2.
Packers by 1.5.
Oh, we're both close. I know that much. It opened at 3, and it's 2.5.
Missed it by this much.
So I get that one. We're both basically right on the nose. It's Packers, but not a field goal. Okay, so the Eagles off a bye, right?
Yes.
And Barkley was a little banged up, but I'm pretty sure he's fine. Okay, so you got the Packers. They just lost to the Panthers at home. And now you got the Eagles coming in off a bye. So extra rest for the Eagles, extra prep for the Eagles. Packers are probably pretty pissed off after losing that game. So no lack of motivation there. 2 of the better teams in the NFC. It should be a really good game.
Yep.
I don't think that, like, the Eagles are clearly not as good as they were last year. Like, they're still winning games, but like, I'm gonna look them up real quick on like the last month. Have they been blowing teams out? I think the answer is no. But let me check.
They lost back-to-back games in early October.
So they lost to the Broncos by 4 at home. Then they lost at the Giants, got smoked on Thursday night by 17. And then they beat Minnesota by 6. It was a pretty competitive game, pretty close game. And then they got a little redemption against the Giants at home. So their only their only win by more than 2 scores the whole season was against the Giants. So 2 schools of thought. Maybe they have started to turn the corner. Maybe they're going to start showing that they're a really good team like they were last year, like clearly the best team in the NFL. Or the Giants just aren't very good, and it was a home game, so they blew them out. But maybe the Eagles are just kind of like playoff caliber, but not elite. This is, I don't want to say it's a tough spot for the Eagles, but I think it's a spot where the Packers at home, like, are they losing 2 games in a row here at home after, like, losing to the Panthers? I don't think so. This is Packers for me. It's under 3. Like, I think it's the right side. I'm going to go 2 stars on the Packers.
I'm going to go 3 stars on the Eagles.
Oh!
Because I think this Packers team can lose 2 games in a row. I mean, if the Eagles can lose back-to-back games, so can the Packers. I just, any team that can lose to the Browns, tie the Cowboys, and lose to the Panthers, absolutely. Give me the Eagles.
At home this year, the Packers beat the Lions by 14. They beat the Commanders by 9. They beat the Bengals by 9. And they lost to the Panthers by 3. So,
yes,
obviously not a good look losing to the Panthers, but in a rebound spot at home, I mean, Lambeau's going to be obviously rocking. Not that that's going to affect Hurts and the Eagles. Like, they don't really, it's not like they're going to play poorly because they're on the road or anything like that. But I don't know. I just think the Packers get one at home. I like it. It's under 3. And you love the Eagles here, which
I do.
I don't like I said, it's not like it's a team that played a good game and then is going on the road with like a slightly above average quarterback or something like that. Like the Eagles will come to play. Yes. So we'll see. That's why I'm going 2 and not 3.
Yeah, I go on 3. I don't have a 3 on the board, and I do really like the Eagles here. Although what I will say is I admire Matt LaFleur's cool in his press conferences, especially his cool coming out of that press conference. What did he say? I don't remember what his. Yeah, he's just very nonchalant. He's not like overly this way or any one way, and he doesn't get his back up when Porter asks a question, you know. I just there's a maybe I'm responding to his almost maybe flippant, maybe is the wrong word, but cavalier approach to that in that loss. Why I'm more high in the Eagles here, but
another thing is I think I heard Parsons had 0 pressures or something like that, which is like the first time in a long time that happened. And so I want to find out like how did the Panthers do that? Maybe the Panthers offensive line is actually like legit. It would make sense.
Victories. Yeah, I don't know. Like when they blanked the Falcons, that was just they scored. The Panthers, scored 30 points and held the Falcons to 0. That game is still a weird one to me. Just a really bizarre game.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
All right. We should maybe go out for Eagles Packers.
Yes, Eagles Packers
on Monday. That might be a thing that needs to happen. All right, let's go back through these. We both have 5 picks. We have one where we're opposite. That's Monday night. So get your popcorn ready for that. So you have the Falcons, Vikings, Dolphins, Cardinals, Eagles. I have the Bucks, Texans, Saints, Giants, and Packers. 5 apiece. No more 8 picks for me. Let's try to go 3 and 2, get back on the winning ways. Even though I've had a couple not so great weeks, I'm still 56%, which is very solid. Hoping for a 3 and 2 or a 4 and 1 here. Go Vikings!
Go Bears!